I definitely encourage you to put the past behind you, to learn from those things.
Yeah.
And I personally use that as fuel for the fire.
Love it.
I am going to kill them with success or slay them with success.
Oh, we need our swords.
Welcome to the Sisters That Slay podcast, featuring Mim, Fez and Beef, also known as Miriam, Talitha and Ferial. We are three sisters building our mini sister empire and bringing you on the journey. We're passionate about learning and growing from those that have been there, done that, ticked the box, won the prize and have the scar. Real people, real stories. We uncover their secrets to how they are living their best lives and push through their lows. Dream the impossible and make it your reality. One life. The critics, you got a sisterhood that want to see you slay. Welcome.
Hey. Hey guys, it's your girl Ferial.
Ferial's jumping ahead. You got Miriam on the podcast.
And Talitha.
So just to explain a bit of what I'm wearing, the beautiful bling and glitter. What is it?
Bling.
Bling and glitter. It was my birthday 2 days ago and I wanted to celebrate over the birthday weekend. I had a little bit of a cry on New Year's Day that everyone had potentially forgotten about my birthday. So because the main event of the last year was Talitha's wedding.
Woo.
Congratulations to Talitha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Her wedding was the 29th of December.
Yep.
A lovely 40-degree day. Looked absolutely gorgeous. And we now get to officially welcome Sam into the family.
Yeah. His new hashtag is Brothers That Slay, I think.
Watch out for those brothers.
It's just him and Jeremy.
And they got me a lovely cake here. Thank you very much, girls. I will be eating that between the
Happy
shows,
birthday.
maybe. That's beautiful. And so what I want to talk about today was 10 tricks to slaying in 2020. I will bring up my notes here. And I've got the sisters in to help keep me accountable. If there's anything good about sisters is they will cut it and tell it to you exactly how it is. So if I'm waffling on or if they don't think what I'm saying is true about me, you are more than welcome to add in whatever you feel. So let's get started with 10 tricks to slay 2020. And the area that where I'm coming from with this is I guess my life is not perfect currently and I've made a lot of changes over the last couple of years. I know a few years ago there was just a point in my time where I just thought that I had effed up everything and just got into a really low point where I couldn't really count who my friends were. I'd had a few business issues and just lost a bit of where I was going. So this is things that I have strategically done over the last 2 years to take my life, my business, my family to that next level. First one is mindset. Got a lovely picture there of the kids playing chess with my sisters. So this is about continuously working on your mindset, and that's something that I've done. So how do I do that? And I want to give practical as to how I do these things. I'm constantly reading books. That can get a bit overwhelming at times, but I like to at least have one book on the go. I know a few of my friends listen to Audible and that type of thing. I do go through phases, but at the moment I like reading hard copy books. Podcasts, I love listening to YouTube, and I always go to learning events. I think the cool thing about going to learning events is that 1, I'm learning, and 2, I now document all my learning. And then 3, I'm hanging out with other people that like learning about the same things I like learning too. So one of the fundamental things that changed my mindset was about 3 or 4 years ago, I went to the Tony Robbins UPW event, and also was fortunate to take my sisters along to that in one of the years. And it was just a complete mind shift for me. I owe a lot to that initial one, and now I've obviously taken that further. Any contributions, girls, from mindset or?
No, I think you obviously do this really well, but I think that you are one of those people that don't drink coffee. There's a particular type, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you're someone that you've had a really terrible 2019, and you really want to make a big goal of 2020, and we're already a week in, and I've seen some memes going around saying 2021's my year.
Yeah.
What would be the first thing that you would do to suggest to one of your friends saying, hey, look, I'm just down and out already. This year's not gone to plan.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
So that was my 2018. I was going through a divorce. The divorce had happened, like separation had happened. I was with a boyfriend, but he broke up with me, business partnership, like it was gone to shit. One of the things that I did do, which is my second point, is you are the sum of the 5 people closest to you.
Yeah.
I used to hate this quote a few years ago, and I think that was more so of more of a jealousy or a fear, or I just wasn't hanging around the type of people that I needed to hang around with. So birds of a feather flock together, seek out successful people. Success leaves clues. And so what I did was the year before. So for a year and a half now, I've been a part of an entrepreneurial group, EO.
Yeah.
I was recommended this from another entrepreneurial group. So over the years, I've been a part of entrepreneurial groups. I'm always watching what successful people are doing. And I joined the group, and I have to pay to play to be a part of this group. It costs $10,000 a year for me to be a part of it. But I get a lot of value from it. There's a lot of learning events. I get a monthly meeting where I sit with 8 other business owners and reflect on how our personal life, our family life, and our business life is going.
Yeah.
And I'm also connected to a global entrepreneur group. So for me, that was definitely one of the things that I did, was to change the people.
Yeah.
And I had to cut some people out of my life.
Yeah.
Or I had to just step back and, just if they were like a family member or something like that, you can't sometimes cut family members out. But I had to step back and just sometimes block out some of those things. So I'm the type of, I've got a high energy, as Talitha kind of said, and I like to hang around people of similar energy that give that positive energy. So number 3 is adding value. And I've got a friend currently that is obsessed with making money. It's all about, I need to make money this year.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I your
Is that
friend?
me? I think that's me. I think over 2020 is money.
Yeah. That is like obviously a byproduct. But really it is about adding value. And how can you add value into other people's lives? One of my favorite quotes is, if you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want.
Yeah.
And I never went into business with this goal to make millions of dollars. My first initial, one of my first basic initial goals was to make $40,000 a year to help contribute to the family as I had young children.
Yeah.
And obviously.
So that's the Australian equivalent of like a part-time.
Yeah, that was all I wanted
yeah.
to do for the first
It's a small
year, and
part-time
do
wage.
something that, it wasn't even, I didn't even care how much I worked in it. I was doing something I loved, and I was helping business owners.
Yeah.
So definitely it then turned to, then the goal then grew bigger as to how I could help other people. So think about how you can solve problems, solve people's business problems, solve people's personal problems in whatever you're trying to do. So if you're an employee, help solve your boss's problems. Just add value without thinking, what is in it for me?
Yeah.
But it's good to make sure you're making money, right?
Obviously, without money, we can't have a certain lifestyle. I am a single mum. I have to pay school fees. I have to pay a mortgage. I have to pay for my kids' tennis, Muay Thai, and swimming lessons. So I need to be making money, but that is not why I do what I do. I do what I do because I love helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just see a lot of people who leave money on the table because they might be too scared to ask for money.
Yeah.
Or too scared to,
And that was
not worth it.
That's a really good point. When I was starting out, I was potentially that person
Yeah.
that didn't value myself, and I would do things potentially for free or undervalue my services.
Yeah.
And that just came with learning and realizing those boundaries where, yes, some people I do help, I do pro bono work, but then there's other people where I've had to step back and realize I'm getting taken for a ride and know my time is worth money, and I've obviously got to charge accordingly. And I see that mistake happening in quite a few women in particular, is just learning to value yourself as well.
Yeah, it's definitely the talk. If you're involved in any kind of groups on Facebook, everyone's pushing that know your worth, know your value. And I think this year is definitely a theme for that. So,
yeah. But I had to start from somewhere. Like when I was starting out, I didn't quite know exactly what I was doing. So I definitely, I did do stuff for free in the beginning. I still learn new software and that type of thing. And I'm not going to charge for learning new areas. But if I'm skilled up in a certain area and I'm I'm creating value for that other person, then absolutely go for it, charge. And then the number 4 one is hard work and sacrifice. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I think 2020 is a year of working hard and working smart. I'm fortunate and blessed with genes and when I mean genes, I mean DNA, where it is just in my blood to work hard. Growing up, I loved schoolwork. Probably not that many people would be allowed to say that. We were joking around. Talitha was talking about all the things that she got up to
at school.
And
Miriam was like, where was I? And I'm like, you were reading a book. And Betty loved it.
And I was Talitha was barking like a dog.
No, we weren't. We weren't.
I was going to Marion in her high heels.
No.
That's all right. I won't dig her anymore. And I was like, I don't remember any of this. What was I doing? Reading a book. So right from the beginning, I've had jobs, I've worked part-time, and I've just always been prepared to put in that hard work. And I think a lot of the times people will see potentially a glamorous lifestyle on my Facebook that I project, and they don't realise that on the Sunday night I was working, well, not yesterday, Sunday, but most Sunday nights last year I was working till midnight. Monday night, Tuesday night, I was working till midnight. It's sort of a non-stop, I'm fairly switched on type of person, and I have to work on having those boundaries, which I'm trying to set in place, but I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty and work hard. And one of the things I do admittedly need to work on is this year is about me prioritizing where I should be focusing my work and what's going to generate the biggest results. And then delegating those other tasks that I don't like doing and or need to be done to other people that like doing those things.
Yeah, and that's definitely working smarter. Is one thing we've done trying to do this year is, getting more of our tasks to a VA as well.
Yeah.
And so if it's a task that we do every day, we're looking at outsourcing it to a VA or someone in our team who can do that task.
And I've put on a client happiness officer as well to help keep clients happy because I do
Shout out to Josie.
Yes, Josie. She came from watching this podcast actually.
Ooh, wow.
She was a mother of one of the schools.
Bread Brothers.
Yes, she was a mother and she's been following our podcast and she's now come on as a client happiness officer to help keep our clients happy.
Yeah.
So number 5 is don't forget it's body, mind and soul. And I've got a lovely one there of Talitha from the wedding with love in the background. Self-care is the highest love. That was from your engagement party.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry, your hens.
Your
hens do.
Yeah.
So I'm not the perfect person with my body, but so I'm not going to comment too much on that. But I do know that if I exercise, I definitely feel a lot better. And my body is kind of a reflection of how I'm feeling mentally as well. But in the mind and soul area, I've talked about mind and working on your mindset. And soul is a really important part. I am a spiritual person and our mind, body and soul are like bank accounts. The world just wants to take from those bank accounts. And if we don't actively do things to deposit into that bank account, then it's just going to run negative and we're going to get depleted.
Yeah.
So how do I practically work on this? Well, I love the beach. I love just walking down the beach, getting my feet in the sand and just forgetting about the world and getting in nature and realizing there's a lot more to life than just my current problems. Just gets me forgetting about everything else. Also, another thing that I do and I will share is I take my kids to church on a Sunday morning. It's rostered in. I definitely think some of these things need to be rostered in. And
what do you mean by rostered in?
Like scheduled in. Like it's
in your diary.
It's non-negotiable.
Oh, okay.
Saturday morning we do such and such. Sunday morning we go to church and then we all go to the swimming centre. The kids know it. Even though the kids know it, they still put up a fight about it. But after we all feel great, we all feel happy families, and I have fed my soul. So whatever that is for you, I'd encourage you to explore that. It is becoming sort of a hip thing to think about spirituality. And also in this context, one of the things that I did learn very early on was about love languages and my own personal love languages, so how I give and like to receive love, and learning those around your family. So my personal love languages, there is time, acts of service, affirmations, gifts, and physical touch. My personal one.
Physical touch.
No.
I'm just joking.
I don't think any of us girls are physical touch.
Sam got me a massage for a bridal present. I was like,
I'll take
Actually,
it.
no, the massages are really good.
Yeah, don't worry.
I can do a
learning
massage.
to love it. Yeah,
But
looking after.
we all have a 10 centimetre radius around us.
I don't. You guys can call me so.
Nah.
I'm pretty good.
You
Nah.
love hugs?
Love them.
Okay, well, Fez loves hugs.
Yeah.
My youngest son loves
Yeah,
hugs.
Jonah does.
And I'm like, I have to like kind of just be like, embrace it. But sometimes it just gets a little bit too overwhelming because he just wants to like put his hands like just everywhere. But for me, my two are, just so everyone knows, affirmations and quality time. So me, it's about spending quality time with a family, and, you know, feel free to tell me how great I am. Sisters, I don't quite actually know what yours are, even though I've, you know, known you my whole lives. Can you just, what are your
I'm
ones?
affirmations.
Your affirmations? Fezza, you do amazing.
I like to think that I'm a little bit of both depending on my mood.
I think your acts of service.
Everything. Nah. Well, I do everything myself anyway.
Your
but
quality
you
time.
like doing things
no,
for
it's
other
just quality
people.
time.
No.
Let's have a good chat.
Nah.
Talitha is all 5. Great.
Yeah.
Gifts.
A little bits of everything depending on the days. Sometimes, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Definitely
Just-
gifts
you
is my
should
lowest one.
keep-
So you
Sam
should really
guessing.
find out what you are.
I
It
know
would-
what I am.
Okay.
Take the
Yeah,
test.
tell us.
No, I'm a bit of everything
All
depending on
5.
my mood.
I don't think it's
All-rounder.
possible.
That's fine.
We should
Yeah.
ask Vicky Chapman. Is it possible?
No, it's Gary Chapman.
Gary.
No, it's Vicky.
That's his
Oh, no, it's Vicky.
No, it's Gary.
Oh, let's have a
Me
bet.
and the
Okay,
next
we
guest
gotta
just
move
went,
on
yeah,
to
Oh,
the
next.
sorry, guys. See, 4 minutes, Miriam.
Yeah. We're trying
Smash
to go
out
through
5
this.
in 4 minutes.
So number 6 is about enjoying the journey. And for me, I've had to realize it's about the journey, not the destination. I can get very set in, I've got to get this, I've got to achieve that. And then I kind of like just lose track of the journey and just really being mindful and enjoying the fun along the way. And the 2 areas that it hit me the most in over the last couple of years, I had this goal to become a 40 under 40 self-made female entrepreneur. And I last year I was recognised as one of South Australia's top 40 under 40 entrepreneurs. So same almost. I don't think there's actually the other one actually exists, but it was kind of like it was a really fun night. Like, thanks girls for coming along. But
I
then the
loved
next
it.
day, I kind of, and I don't want to like belittle this or anything like that, but I kind of was like, had this empty, is that all type of feeling? And it kind of made me realize, and I'm now setting 90-day OKRs, which is objectives and key results, to try and combat that feeling of achieving or not achieving goals. So I'll go into that later. But it was kind of just made me really reflect on potentially changing the types of goals that I have. Another goal that
Can you give us a sneak peek? What is it? What do you mean by changing? So what is one of your goals now?
it's more about enjoying the life that I have worked hard to create.
Okay.
Is the objective.
She won't give me a sneak peek,
And
guys. Do
then
you know how many
that's the
times I've
objective. And
asked her?
one of my key results, I've got to work on it. So it's not a final product. I might do a podcast about it. My mentor, actually, who's going to be coming in a podcast, he's like, oh, yeah, some of it needs refinement. So some of the ways I'm enjoying.
So tell us a goal that needed refinement.
No, like, so let's talk about enjoying the life I love. Key results is I want to attend a live musical festival or
Yeah.
musical experience once per month.
Yeah.
So there's a whole list of things, and I can run through
Wait,
that.
but did you need to refine that goal, or is that a good goal?
No, that's a good objective,
Yeah.
and then there's key results underneath.
Because
it.
that brings you that joy of enjoying life.
Yes,
Yeah.
and or because we were talking about, like I was talking about with him, that one of the areas that like I got really down that I didn't get my goal. I have everywhere I was reviewing all my goals for last year, and there's all these goals around. I need to hit 60 kilos. I need to hit 65 kilos. Talitha's wedding was coming up, and I knew I was not near that. So I just started binge eating.
You did.
And was like, I don't care about this anymore. I give up on life.
Yeah, but Miriam,
So-
I was the bride, so I had a goal. and I didn't achieve it, but I said to myself, it's still fine. Like, it's still fine. Like, we're happy, we're healthy.
Yeah.
And the bigger picture.
Yeah. So now I'm going to be changing that around, but it was kind of this objectives and key results is a way for me to just not feel deflated when I don't hit a goal.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And
because you're doing well.
I'm doing well.
Sort of.
But I could always do better. But the key results area, you actually measure it as a percentage. I'm not an expert in this at the moment, but hopefully one day I will be. But it's more so, am I 70% hitting this?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, oh no, I'm not at 65 kilos, but I'm not at I'm 75% there type of thing. So stay tuned for more about my OKRs. So number 7 is call yourself out on your bullshit excuses and limiting beliefs. So what do I mean by that? So I used to get really jealous, and this is like full, deep and meaningful now.
Okay.
I used to get really jealous of guys that had no kids and were running businesses.
Just people or specifically guys?
Just because I'd hang around in a lot of entrepreneurial groups. And a lot of entrepreneurs, successful ones, are guys. And I just look at them and be like, yeah, like you're able to get there because you don't have like 3 kids that you basically have to look after all the time. And I had to get over my just like looking down and or like semi-jealousy, resentment, like semi-resentment for that.
Yeah.
And I just had to call out my own bullshit on it. So I turned the whole thing around and looked at it as my kids are a blessing to me and they give me so much more perspective, love and meaning to my life.
Yeah.
My kids help me to be a better leader and a person. And yes, it does mean I have more limited time, but it means I have to be smarter and I have to learn to cultivate a team of leaders as well to help achieve the goal.
Yeah.
And I also see that I'm so much more of a well-rounded person now to those guys that I used to be jealous of, that they had all the free time in the world to work on their businesses and could do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I realized my life is so much more amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So number 8 is get a mentor, accountability buddy, or a coach. So as you would have learned, and this has been a really important part, I've got a photo there of listening to Warren Rustand with Ferial. He was amazing. He's not a mentor of mine, but I looked up to him. I go to a lot of events and I take the positives from people. But one step further in, I go to a lot of events and then I go, yeah, I need to do all these things.
Yeah.
I'm so pumped up. I'm so fired up. And, I just can't wait to get back into it. And then you kind of go home or you go back to the office. You've missed a day out. There's all these emails that you need to catch up on. And you just don't ever get around to doing
all the
those
dramas.
things. It's just like, world goes back to it. And then I would go to another event. They're like, oh, yeah, an example was you still need to be doing like a daily huddle with all your team. And so what I did was I actively sought out somebody who I respected and who had been there, done that experience, and who was someone that I looked up to and wanted to be a leader like. So that's sort of my tips for trying to find that person, is respecting them and all of those areas. So for me, and I'm super excited, we're actually going to be interviewing one of my mentors today, Mike Scott. He was just stand out in contributions to a group, the EO group that I was a part of. And without this mentor, I would not have been able to implement what we've been able to implement in the business in the last 6 months.
So how do you quickly choose a mentor though?
Oh, I would ask people. I would really I'd ask for people, have a look at, it depends, like mine is a more formalized mentorship. So
would you recommend a formalized mentorship?
I need that to be serious about it.
Yeah, true.
So I need to put money down on the table so that I will appreciate it, respect the time, respect his time, respect my time.
Yeah.
And then I know I need to make more money than what I'm putting down on the table.
Love it.
So one of the things that we have been working on with the mentor, which I wouldn't have been able to do without them, is we do a 15-minute, we're implementing the EOS system, which is the entrepreneurial operating system. there are different systems you can have for businesses to help them scale. So there's, what is the other one? Scalability and EOS. EOS is the most simple. So I was like, yes, I need to do this. So I heard about it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I read the book and then, nothing happens. So now working with a mentor, we now have a 15-minute daily huddle. We have a weekly leadership meeting. I was the type of person where I'm like, yeah, let's do meetings. And we do 1 or 2 and then all of a sudden life gets busy and they fade away. So we now have 90-day rocks for the business. So there are our business goals. We have a 1-year vision and we're working on a 3-year and a 10-year vision. We also refined our values for the business. I'd always be jealous of everyone else that knew their values. And we've had people on that we've interviewed and they'll be like, yeah, like everybody's got to know their values. So that's been one thing, is working through what our values and then making sure that staff are on board with those values. Number 9 is to embrace your uniqueness. Embrace your uniqueness.
That's unique, Miriam.
Embrace your uniqueness. And I've got a picture there of a 40 under 40s because I just love it. It's me there in a red dress being very much anti-corporate.
Love it.
The glitter and the sparkles. I love doing things that just, reflect a little bit of my personality. I had a freak out last year at an event that I was going to. It was run by liquidators and there was liquidators, lawyers and accountants there. And I had rocked up. I just wasn't even thinking about it too much, in a denim jacket and a pink floral full-on dress. And everyone else was there, basically mature males. And here I was walking in and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing here? And I had just this full imposter, should I be here? What am I doing? And I was just like, nah, stuff it. This is who I am. I've created a business from ground up. I deserve to be here. Absolutely. Just as much as what any of those other people. And I'm here to learn. I definitely would encourage anybody to just be who you are, be true to yourself and be authentic in that. And for me, it's helped in business. I'm now known as a fabulous accountant.
In red.
I'm wearing red a lot of the time, or pink. And it's definitely helped in every area. And my final 110, because we're trying to keep to times, is to let it go. And I've got a picture of the snow. Does anyone want to sing "Let It Go"?
Let it go, let it go. You can't hold me back anymore.
Beautiful.
What's the new
Let
Frozen song?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Frozen
Into
2.
the Unknown.
Oh yeah.
And then Into the Unknown. That's such a good movie.
Okay.
Just try and stop me.
Cool. So one of the things that I had to learn the hard way was hurt people.
Oh.
And I have really tried to take control of my emotions.
Yeah.
So that rather than when I can see myself crying, I go, no, I'm not going to let that person make me upset.
Yeah.
I control my own happiness. And I was going through a bit of a rough patch last year. And my business mentor kind of said to me, it's like when you get punched in the face, what are you going to do? Are you going to stand there crying, feeling sorry for yourself? Or are you going to get back up and continue fighting, dodge the next one, or just walk away from the situation? So I was definitely someone that would cry a little bit. That was my favorite method of suffering, was to cry. And I've just been really trying to just stop that, recognize the signs of it, and just change it up a little bit. So
great.
I definitely encourage you as well. I sit in a lot of meetings. I meet a lot of people. I've got thousands of people that call me their accountant. And one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of people is that they bring up things from 5 years ago. And that's the reason why they are there now where they are, because of something that happened in business or something that happened 5 years ago. So I definitely encourage you to put the past behind you, to learn from those things.
Yeah.
And I personally use that as fuel for the fire.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I have that. I know there's a few things that have happened to me, a few business partnerships which went wrong, people that just did the dodgy on me, and it is fuel to the fire. I am going to kill them with success or slay them with success.
Oh, we need our swords.
So yeah, that's it. I hope you have an awesome 2020. Give us your tip to slaying in 2020.
Did Miriam leave anything out there, guys, like kindness or
But share
anything
your
like that?
successes as well.
Yeah. We want to see our tribe succeed this year.
Absolutely. Good job, guys.
Thank you
well
very
done.
much. See you later.
Bye. Cool, Miriam. Build it.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. We are getting awesome feedback from our viewers and listeners, and we want to hear from you. What was your key takeaway, your lessons learned, something you can relate to, or your aha moment, and share it on our Facebook and Instagram. You can also visit our sistersthatslay.com.au website to see what we've been up to. This podcast has been brought to you by Miriam's business, Fab Tax Accountants. We make your life easier, keep your books clean, and accounting and tax can even be fun so you can love your numbers.